It's early and hard leaving stuff for only the second time in what feels like 6 months. Woo. What could be important enough to get me on my bike this cold morning? Quality friends is the only thought in my head. You may remember Chris from many of our adventures last year. When you agree to do a first thing in the morning 9 a.m. meetup, you have to do some late night prep. So I'm pulling my bike off of the bus tonight so that in the morning I can depart and not have to unload. The goal today was to ride out to Souk and meet up for a casual dirt ride that would get Colin's new bike some off-pavement color. Since getting back from Mexico, I felt little desire to ride. The wet, cold days have me feeling rather depressed. The first part of this ride I know well, as it was once my daily commute. Over a coffee, I explained to Chris and Colin that only my great respect for both of them would draw me out of a warm bed this early on a frigid morning. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Another 100 meters or so. So it's gonna be 100 meters, okay. Why don't we keep going and just see what happens? Look, if you just look around the corner here, yeah, I don't want to do it. There are things I want to do. You go ahead, Todd. It's just being a sensible one.
My favorite rides have always required learning the road. West Coast Road has many distinctive sections. Lost Creek is one of those. Kind of like distinct punctuation in a paragraph. It asks you to take notice. One of many single-lane bridges. Timing is everything. The camera's like lasting all of 10 seconds.
The cold, right?
Yeah, battery. Yeah, you're at the axles now.
You're very disappointing, Colin. You're very disappointing.
Our brief trip to the beach was entertaining, but no one went for a swim. But I did get to test out my new sand riding skills.
I haven't quite earned this bike yet. I'm still a little bit nervous on it, first time riding off-road, and it feels very different from the Africa bike. I put a lot of work into this. Yeah, the first time coming here, there wasn't any of this boardwalk or anything, so I put a ton of work into it. Just to keep people from treading on the ground. We come in the summer and there's been a dozen people walking the trail with us, so more word's getting out, a little bit more awareness, and people are coming to see it while they can. You can show this in your video, but definitely don't mention where it is.
Why is that?
Why?
Well, it's not like it's top secret.
No, but the more people that come here, the better it seems. You feel? I think so. If it becomes a real popular thing,
then they'll protect it.
Some more public opinion on stuff in the town. Well, Africa Grove is closed right now, eh?
Should we call this one Social Doug? Because he's not lonely. Still has friends.
You don't know if they're friends. They could just be tolerating him.
It could be family. They could actually be parts of him. I would think so.
Yeah.
Someone's already vandalized it. Well, ours are here. Yours is gone. Weird. I guess it was the most desirable one of the bunch.
They took the nice bike.
Yeah.
Oh, your headlight on?
Quite spectacular walk, that's for sure. At this point, it was clear everything above 350 meters was snowed in and off limit to us, so we try a different connector to the West Coast Road and go for a warm beverage.
Get that on video?
Yeah, looks like it.
What that?
Looks like it.
That was a controlled let down.
That was amazing, buddy. Absolutely amazing.
I knew I was coming in a little too fast. I was in 6th gear.
But the thing is, you never really panicked. You just kept trying to bleed speed, trying to keep it under control, and then eventually you went, I don't think I can stop it. You just picked a perfect way to lay it down.
I've done this before.
Yeah, it looks like it. I tried to go up this last time with no success.
Yeah, no, it's this is the one. It's not that one, Colin. Well, anyway, the track I'm interested in is just off into the trees there. Just want to take a look at that.
Yeah.
Just go take a look at 6th gear. Yeah, I was like, I came around the corner and I was like, shit, I'm in 6th. It's interesting when it wants to go straight, right? So
yeah.
it's like, oh well.
hit that rock.
Oh, good landing.
I was doing okay until I bounced off that rock there.
Oh yeah. All right, get your breath.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
It should be just up here, right? Yeah, I'm just straight around the corner.
Okay, let the bike come to me. Here we go. This should be interesting.
Well, you can walk paddling up.
Well, hang on. I guess I have my camera off.
Do it again, Chris.
I blew it.
Oh, that dead ends. Just around the corner, it looks like it dead ends. So this is it. Pretty close.
You know you've had a good time when you break your GoPro. There you go. Seem to be completely lost again. I can't tell you.
We're not lost, we're right here.
Shh. We don't want to talk about where we are. want to say thanks to my friends Chris and Colin for dragging me out and reminding me that a good time is often defined by the company you keep. That mud puddles can be fun, and with a good base layer, freezing rain can be beautiful. If you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for coming along. I hope you join us for a ride in the future and become part of our crew. Up next is a new segment of our videos. Tell us what you think in the comments. Good morning and welcome back to Performance Motorcycle Works. We have a special guest this morning. We have a VFR 1200. I have personally had more than a dozen VFRs. I've had several 86 model, which were absolutely spectacular. I was lucky enough to have an 89 RC30. And my very first VFR was a 1990, red with white wheels. I had many a 5th gen, many a 6th gen. And I absolutely love them, but I've never really spent a lot of time with the 12. So we're going to take a look at this one today, and we'll bring you along, look at some features and stuff like that. Well, just a few fasteners and magic secret doors and panels, but bodywork gone, gas tank removed. We're going to get in here and pull this apart, pull the airbox cover off.
Okay, so these come out with it?
No, I've done them separately.
If you were to just like pull and not catch that the cookie's stuck, that could break, right?
Yeah. Just gonna make sure you don't lose these rubber seals here. We have found, going into this, we found that we have tight exhaust valves. I had a suspicion before we even started. We've already done the rear cylinder. It's all buttoned back up. It was just the exhaust sides. The intakes were all perfect. I've got the throttle bodies out of the way, and now we're gonna go in and take the front valve cover off, do spark plugs, and check the exhaust valves on the front cylinder. I blocked off all of this stuff here to keep stuff from falling in. There's major wiring harnesses like totally getting in the way. Hopefully that won't present too big a problem. All right, we're getting to the tech tip part of the entire adventure here. Valve services. There's a lot of myths and misconceptions and such like that. They're typically in a service calendar for your motorcycle at age, but with the advancements in the bikes and the compact design, it's getting very hard and expensive to get in here and do that adjustment. So I'm going to give you a handy hint. If your bike is hard to start, if it dies when it's warm, if it cannot hold every 1,000 RPM interval perfectly, you might actually have a valve adjustment issue. But if your bike starts like a top, runs like a top, gets good fuel economy, and you can hold the RPM at every 1,000 interval, odds are they're good, especially if you have like a V-Strom 650. Those things are like one of the most consistently in-spec engines that I've ever checked. This one, unfortunately, it came to us with a concern, and it did play out that absolutely every valve was on the tight side. Now the problem with that is the valves, if they don't close completely, it can lead to performance issues, but even worse, it can lead to burnt valves, damaged valve seats, and stuff like that. So we got it in here, we got it all sorted. I'm really hoping that the customer really notices the difference and then the performance goes way up. That's your handy tech tip. If your bike is working perfectly, odds are your valves are in spec. Well, some friends asked me to do some reviews of cool stuff. As you saw, we did a tech tip on this bike. It's a 2011 Honda VFR 1200F. It was a sales flop in North America. I totally get it. It was superfluous. It didn't actually bring much more to the table. Technology-wise, it's really, really cool. It has a very unique V4 configuration with the way the crank is set up to make it very narrow in the cockpit area. and very MotoGP like. We're gonna ride it right now, and then I'll give you my opinions about it, and maybe we'll give it a Scott score. But even before we get started, I think it's RC30 replica worthy. I'm gonna wear my good helmet. It's like the third time I've worn it. My first impressions of the bike is that it's like riding a Blackbird with a big bore RC30 motor. I never thought I'd feel or hear that sound again, and it was truly intoxicating, just as it is to ride a leader bike. It's been a while. I truly enjoyed this bike, but to be honest, it doesn't do anything better than an 800 Interceptor.
I'll explain what we're doing.
Dropped the VFR off and then came over and we're going to install tires on this 850 Tiger. Really cool gentleman. He's getting into the adventure thing, and we're going to fit him out with some more gravel worthy tires.
Girl.